Travis. Please check out this cover story from the most recent issue of Us Weekly. How do you think Scientology will handle this piece? For the viewers who don't know, Us Weekly is sold at the checkout stand at most grocery stores, and this story is on the cover of the most recent issue. The cover prominently accuses Scientology of stalking women who have accused a Hollywood actor of rape in unambiguous terms. The headline also asks, will this be the end of Scientology? It seems to me that Scientology can no longer control the flood of bad press coming from mainstream and tabloid press. Is this a fair assessment? Do you think Scientology will sue Us Weekly? Do you think the mad midget, Miscavige, is aware of this Us Weekly deal? Do you think that OSA is now trying to make life hell for the Us Weekly staff now that this article has run? Thanks for the question, Travis. Actually, no on pretty much all the above. In alignment with the last answer that I gave, I think that the amount of press that's coming out about Scientology that has been coming out for the last many years very clearly shows that the media is no longer afraid of the Church of Scientology or its his historical reputation of going after any media outlets that try to attack or criticize it or report on it. That effort on the part of Scientology has died down almost completely. I don't know any suits or any action Scientology takes except writing letters now, saying, hey, that's not true, and you guys are just a bunch of bigots, and they're just a bunch of bigots, and they're just all a bunch of lies, and you better print this as part of your story or, there's going to be hell to pay, right? And that's about as tough as they are now with media. And the reason for that is not because Scientology has particularly changed or softened its approach. It's because they don't have the resources to go after every single media outlet that has been taking them on. They're just overwhelmed now. And with good reason. They have been doing a lot of bad things, and they have built up this historical track of abuse and fair gaming and a lot of criminality and nonsense. So now that is finally the cascade is going where now we can really freely talk about this stuff without Scientology being a big bully and coming along and shutting everybody up over it. The floodgates are open, but now they're so open, and it's so common to see bloggers and media outlets go after Scientology that it's just too numerous for Scientology to deal with, and they don't have the resources. Even if they have the money, they don't have the personnel to deal with covering everything and everybody, right? And this is one of the big reasons why I always laugh when commenters, write me on YouTube or send me emails and I was too afraid to write a comment on your channel because I thought Scientology might come after me. And I'm just laughing now because, there's no reason to be afraid of Scientology that way. They do not have, those kind of resources don't exist, right? So you're safe if you want to write a comment on my channel or on Facebook or social media or anything like that. There's very little chance that Scientology as an entity is going to notice you, and they're certainly not going to start spending money to come after you just because you write a critical comment or two. It's going to take a lot more work than that. So no, I don't think that Scientology is going to sue Us Weekly for asking whether this is the end of Scientology. And I don't even know if Miscavige is aware of every single cover story that occurs on Scientology media-wise. I'd have a question about that. I wouldn't be sure. I could see how he could, but I could also see how some of that might be filtered in terms of what ends up on his desk. I don't think he wants to see every single bad article about Scientology. I don't think that's how he fills his days. I think he tends to, kind of leave that to the OSA guys to do their little attack dog deal. But otherwise, he doesn't want to be bothered with it. He's got other things that he's dealing with. So that, I think, right? I could be completely wrong about that. For all I know, maybe he, post the cover of every single magazine. He's got Rolling Stone and Us and all these other magazines that publish anything bad about Scientology, and he just takes a gun and target practices on them all day. I mean, he could be doing that too, for all I know, right? I'm just sort of conjecturing here. But I don't think that is how he spends his time. So there you go.